Hello and welcome to Rajya Sabha Television. You're watching the news tonight. I'm Frank Razan Pereira. Let's begin with the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi declares complete lockdown of the nation from midnight tonight for 21 days. In a crucial address to the nation, Prime Minister emphasizes importance of social distancing to combat coronavirus pandemic, calls for people to respect Lakshman Rekha of not stepping out of their houses. Coronavirus can spread like wildfire, warns the Prime Minister, even as many states declare curfew to enforce lockdown to combat the pandemic. Strict action including arrest ordered against violators. 519 cases of COVID-19 confirmed so far nationwide. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announces relief measures to combat the crisis, extends date of filing income tax returns for 2018-19 till June 30th. Date for linking PAN card with Aadhaar also extended. Preparations on for economic package to overcome problems of traders. The Election Commission postpones the Rajya Sabha polls in view of coronavirus crisis. Voting for 18 of the 55 seats was slated to be held on the 26th of March. Candidates for the remaining 37 seats are unopposed. And Tokyo Olympics postponed due to coronavirus pandemic. Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe makes the proposal. After sustained international pressure, IOC makes formal announcement. Well, the Prime Minister addressed the nation a short while ago and made a big announcement. Let's take a listen in. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi has announced a complete lockdown across the country starting midnight tonight. This, he said, is being done to ensure that people do not venture out amid the coronavirus outbreak. Addressing the nation on Tuesday, the Prime Minister urged people to stay put where they are. He said if India fails to observe the lockdown for 21 days, the country will be set back by 21 years. He said COVID-19 patients unknowingly transmit the disease to others in the early days of infection and added that a single patient can infect hundreds of others in a matter of just a few days.
आज रात 12 बजे से पूरे देश में, ध्यान से सुनिए, पूरे देश में आज रात 12 बजे से संपूर्ण देश में संपूर्ण लॉकडाउन होने जा रहा है। हिंदुस्तान को बचाने के लिए, हिंदुस्तान के हर नागरिक को बचाने के लिए, आपको बचाने के लिए, आपके परिवार को बचाने के लिए आज रात 12 बजे से घरों से बाहर निकलने पर पूरी तरह पाबंदी लगाई जा रही है। देश के हर राज्य को, हर केंद्र शासित प्रदेश को, हर जिले, हर गांव, हर कस्बे, हर गली मोहल्ले को अब लॉकडाउन किया जा रहा है। ये एक तरह से कर्फ्यू ही है। जनता कर्फ्यू से भी कुछ कदम आगे की बात। जनता कर्फ्यू से जरा ज्यादा सख्त। कोरोना महामारी के खिलाफ निर्णायक लड़ाई के लिए ये कदम अब बहुत आवश्यक है। निश्चित तौर पर इन लॉकडाउन की एक आर्थिक कीमत देश को उठानी पड़ेगी, लेकिन एक एक भारतीय के जीवन को बचाना, आपके जीवन को बचाना, आपके परिवार को बचाना, इस समय मेरी, भारत सरकार की, देश की हर राज्य सरकार की, हर स्थानीय निकाय की सबसे बड़ी प्राथमिकता है। और इसलिए मेरी आपसे प्रार्थना है और मैं हाथ जोड़ के प्रार्थना करता हूं कि आप इस समय देश में जहां भी हैं वहीं रहे। अभी के हालात को देखते हुए देश में ये लॉकडाउन 21 दिन का होगा, 3 सप्ताह का होगा।
Well, the Prime Minister said that the only effective way to fight coronavirus is social distancing. He also shared a banner that says nobody steps out. Prime Minister Modi said that the government is making all efforts to ensure that essential goods and services are available during the lockdown period and that the government is allocating 15,000 crore rupees towards improving the health infrastructure across the country.
आने वाले 21 दिन हर नागरिक के लिए, हर परिवार के लिए बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है। हेल्थ एक्सपर्ट्स की माने तो कोरोना वायरस की संक्रमण साइकिल तोड़ने के लिए कम से कम 21 दिन का समय बहुत अहम है। अगर ये 21 दिन नहीं संभले तो देश और आपका परिवार 21 साल पीछे चला जाएगा। अगर ये 21 दिन नहीं संभले तो कई परिवार हमेशा हमेशा के लिए तबाह हो जाएंगे। और मैं ये बात एक प्रधानमंत्री के तौर पर नहीं, आपके परिवार के सदस्य के नाते कह रहा हूं। इसलिए बाहर निकलना क्या होता है ये इन 21 दिनों के लिए भूल जाइए। घर में रहे और एक ही काम करें कि अपने घर में ही रहें।
Well, the Prime Minister said that even countries like the US, the UK and the European countries which have the best-in-class healthcare are struggling to contain the virus.
सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग यानी एक दूसरे से दूर रहना, अपने घरों में ही बंद रहना, कोरोना से बचने का इसके अलावा कोई तरीका नहीं है, कोई रास्ता नहीं है। कोरोना को फैलने से रोकना है तो उसके संक्रमण की जो साइकिल है उस साइकिल को तोड़ना ही होगा। कुछ लोग इस गलतफहमी में है कि सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग केवल मरीज के लिए, बीमार लोगों के लिए आवश्यक है। ये सोचना सही नहीं। सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग हर नागरिक के लिए है, हर परिवार के लिए है, परिवार के हर सदस्य के लिए है, प्रधानमंत्री के लिए भी है। कुछ लोगों की लापरवाही, कुछ लोगों की गलत सोच आपको, आपके बच्चों को, आपके माता पिता को, आपके परिवार को, आपके दोस्तों को और आगे चल करके पूरे देश को बहुत बड़ी मुश्किल में झोंक देंगी। अगर ऐसी लापरवाही जारी रही तो भारत को इसकी बहुत बड़ी कीमत चुकानी पड़ सकती है। और ये कीमत कितनी चुकानी पड़ेगी, इसका अंदाजा लगाना भी मुश्किल है।
Well, let's now get you the latest numbers as far as COVID-19 is concerned. The number of coronavirus cases in the country has gone up to 519. According to the Health Ministry, the number of active COVID-19 cases are 470, while 40 people have been cured, discharged, or have migrated. The figure, or rather the total figure, also includes 43 foreign nationals. The death toll due to coronavirus rose to 10 after one more death from the infection was reported on Tuesday. Kerala reported 14 new coronavirus cases on Tuesday, taking the total cases in the state to 105. 8 new cases were reported in Karnataka, taking the tally there to 41. Meanwhile, cases were booked against hundreds of people in different parts of the country for violating prohibitory orders. Meanwhile, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar had a discussion with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang and the High Representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Josep Borrell Fontelles, regarding cooperation on the coronavirus pandemic. Jaishankar assured Fontelles India's fullest support in the matter of the return of EU citizens from India. In his discussion with China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi, Jaishankar assured China of working together in combating COVID-19. The two leaders also agreed to build further on bilateral efforts in this domain. Jaishankar and Wang Yi also exchanged views on the forthcoming G20 summit, saying global challenges require global cooperation. The exchange between the leaders happened on a day when coronavirus cases in the country crossed the 500 mark and one more death from the infection was reported on Tuesday, taking the total to 10. Meanwhile, there was some positive news as well, where no new case of coronavirus was reported in the national capital, Delhi, in the last 42 hours. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal announced this on Tuesday, adding that the earlier number of virus-infected patients has also gone down from 30 to 23. He said it is good that some patients have recovered, but cautioned about a long battle ahead against the deadly virus. The Chief Minister appealed to the people to help each other in these difficult times. Kejriwal also announced that the government has constituted a 5-member doctors panel to suggest a plan to deal with the situation if Delhi enters stage 3 of the coronavirus pandemic. The panel has been asked to submit its report within 24 hours.
आपकी सरकार ने आपके साथ मिलके काम किया, उतनी सतर्कता के साथ अपने को काम करना पड़ेगा। कल लॉकडाउन किया था, आज से कर्फ्यू चालू किया दिल्ली के अंदर। मैं समझ सकता हूँ आपको बहुत तकलीफ हो रही होगी। हम सरकार की तरफ से पूरी कोशिश भी कर रहे हैं। आपकी सारी तकलीफ़ें हम ख़त्म नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन आपकी तकलीफ़ें कैसे कम हो उस दिशा में हम पूरी कोशिश कर रहे हैं। लेकिन फिर भी आपको बहुत तकलीफ हो रही होगी, मैं ये समझ सकता हूँ, लेकिन इस वक्त सब लोगों की ज़िंदगी बचाना बहुत ज़रूरी है।
Meanwhile, Health Minister Harshvardhan on Tuesday held a meeting with officials of the National Centre for Disease Control in Delhi through video conferencing. The minister said that in the last few days, 64,000 people have returned to India from abroad. Out of this, 8,000 people have been quarantined in government facilities, while 56,000 people are home quarantined. He said it is the need of the hour that all the people under quarantine need to maintain strict vigil and practice the laid-down protocols of social distancing and personal hygiene. The health minister also visited the NCDC control room and the testing laboratories in New Delhi.
अभी पिछले 3-4 दिन में ही मैंने देखा कि लगभग 64,000 पैसेंजर्स जो हैं 21 तारीख से लेकर अभी के बीच में विदेशों से भारत में आए हैं, जिसमें से लगभग 8,000 से ज़्यादा को सरकार की क्वारंटाइन फैसिलिटीज़ में रखा गया है और लगभग 56,000 जो है वो होम क्वारंटाइन में है। तो ये समय वो है जिसमें कि होम क्वारंटाइन और सरकारी क्वारंटाइन में रहने वाले लोगों को भी सरकार की व्यवस्था से कोऑपरेट करना है, समाज के साथ कोऑपरेट करना है, अपने घर के लोगों के साथ कोऑपरेट करना है।
Well, in what may be an important step in the fight against coronavirus, a Pune-based firm has created an indigenous solution to test patients for COVID-19 that can halve the time taken for results. The company received statutory approvals late on Monday from the National Institute of Virology, Indian Council of Medical Research, and the Central Drug Standard Control Organization. It can now manufacture over 15,000 testing kits per day. The company has been able to shorten the test time to 2.5 hours as against the prevalent 6 to 8 hours. With its solution that does both the screening and confirmation simultaneously. Citing the spread of the virus in South Korea, WHO has been stressing on the importance of tests to fight the pandemic. Though the number of positive cases in India is just over the 500 mark right now, experts believe the number will increase further, and even now it may be underreported due to the lack of adequate testing. Well, the Indian Railways has stopped its operations as part of the government's measures to control the spread of COVID-19. With all passenger train services currently shut, Indian Railways is ensuring the smooth operations of its freight trains across the country. This, the Railways said, will ensure the availability of essential commodities throughout the country. In a tweet, the Indian Railways said this is the first time that all train services have been stopped, as it was never even done during the war, and asked people to understand the seriousness of the circumstance and stay at home. The Indian Railways also decided that contractual workers will be paid 70% of their contract value. The Information and Broadcasting Ministry has urged all states and union territories to ensure operational continuity of print and electronic media in view of the coronavirus outbreak. The ministry said robust and essential information dissemination networks like TV channels and news agencies are of utmost importance to ensure timely and authentic information dissemination. It also noted that proper functioning of these networks is required not only to create awareness among people, but also keep the nation updated and avoid false and fake news from spreading. The letter urged the state governments and union territory administrations to facilitate operational convenience of these services. Well, let's now get you some global figures as far as coronavirus is concerned. Deaths from COVID-19 pandemic have crossed 17,200 across the globe, and as many as 3.96 lakh people have been infected by COVID-19 globally. Over 9,000 fatalities have been recorded in Europe alone. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has announced strict restrictions on public life and a ban on all unnecessary movement of people for at least 3 weeks to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in the country. The death toll due to the virus has reached 337, while more than 6,700 people are infected from the virus.
And I wanted to try to say something today about how I see the timescale of this campaign and where we're going and what we need to do. And I do think, looking at it all, that we can turn the tide within the next 12 weeks. And I'm absolutely confident that we can send a coronavirus packing in this country, but
The United States President Donald Trump has signed an executive order to prevent hoarding of vital medical supplies and personal protective equipment. More than 46,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 were reported in the United States till Tuesday. With over 135 deaths in a single day, the number of fatalities rose to 588.
America will again and soon be open for business, very soon, a lot sooner than 3 or 4 months that somebody was suggesting. a lot sooner. We cannot let the cure be worse than the problem itself. We're not going to let the cure be worse than the problem.
Meanwhile, in Spain, over 500 deaths were registered in the last 24 hours. 2,696 people have lost their lives due to the deadly virus so far, while the total number of confirmed cases stood at 39,673 on Tuesday. Italy has reported 602 new deaths from the coronavirus on Monday, bringing the total tally to 6,077 in the country. Iran reported 122 more deaths on Tuesday, taking the toll to 1,934. And the 2020 Tokyo Olympics has been postponed to no later than the summer of 2021 in view of the coronavirus pandemic sweeping the globe. The announcement was made by the International Olympic Committee. The games that were scheduled to be held from July 24th to August 9th were postponed after telephone discussions between IOC President Thomas Bach and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, making it a historic joint decision taken for the first postponement of an Olympics in peacetime. Prime Minister Abe said Bach was in 100% agreement when Japan asked the IOC to push back the games. In a joint statement, they said that based on current information from the WHO, the Tokyo Games must be rescheduled to a date beyond 2020, but not later than summer 2021 to safeguard the health of the athletes, everybody involved in the Olympic Games, and the international community. The leaders also hoped that the Tokyo Games could stand as a beacon of hope to the world during these troubled times, and that the Olympic flame could become the light at the end of the tunnel in which the world finds itself at present. The decision is believed to be a devastating blow for the city of Tokyo, which had won widespread praise for its organization, with venues finished well ahead of time and tickets massively oversubscribed. Well, those were most of the updates really on coronavirus. It's now time to move on to some other news. The Rajya Sabha election scheduled for March 26th has been deferred amid India's fight against coronavirus. The Election Commission will review the situation after March 31st. The polls were to be held for 18 seats that will fall vacant after the term of members ends. The EC had declared polls to 55 RS seats on February 25th. Another by-poll was announced later to fill the vacancy caused by the resignation of BJP MP Birendra Singh. Polling for all seats was scheduled for March 26th. After 37 candidates were elected unopposed and nomination papers of a TMC candidate for a West Bengal seat rejected, polls to 18 seats are now due. Well, Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chouhan on Tuesday proved his majority by winning the trust vote in the assembly. During the voting, Shivraj Singh Chouhan said that containing the spread of the novel coronavirus is the utmost priority for his government. The Congress MLAs boycotted the assembly proceedings of the day, and the House has been now adjourned till the 27th of March. BJP leader Shivraj Singh Chouhan has become the Chief Minister of the state for the fourth time. Governor Lalji Tandon administered him the oath at the Raj Bhavan last night. Meanwhile, Madhya Pradesh Assembly Speaker NP Prajapati has resigned from his post on Tuesday. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu on Tuesday extended greetings to the people on the eve of Ugadi, Gudi Padwa, Chaitra Shukladi and Cheti Chand. During the occasion, the Vice President urged the citizens to adopt a hygienic way of living and support the government in combating the coronavirus outbreak. He also appealed to the people to celebrate these festivals within their homes and avoid large gatherings. The Vice President said that if possible, or rather if people maintain social distancing and follow medical advice, India can fight the deadly virus collectively. Referring to the Indian values of share and care, Naidu expressed hope that everyone will support others who are suffering and need assistance. Ugadi, Gudi Padwa, Chaitra Shukladi and Chajibu Chairoba, Navre and Cheti Chand will be celebrated in different parts of the country on Wednesday. All these festivals mark the beginning of traditional New Year in different parts of India. Well, it's a wrap on this edition of News Tonight. Good night.